again to tuning into the program, the Macedonian program. Today I would like to read an article which is titled Ongoing Ethnogenesis in 21st Century Balkans, FYRO and the Ethnic Slav Majority. This article was written by John James Smith and appeared in the ongoing American Chronicle called American Chronicle, the journal which appears online. And I shall begin reading the article. The former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, FYRO, is one of the world's newest nations, established towards the end of the 20th century. In September 1991, the mixed population of ethnic Slavs, the majority being 64%, Albanians, the largest minority being 27%, Vlachs, Turks and Greeks of this former Yugoslav state voted for independence in a referendum. From the outset, however, the constitutional name, which was the Republic of Macedonia, and ethnic identity Macedonski of this young fledgling state have been at the center of an intra-regional dispute spanning nearly 2 decades. On the one hand, Greece, FYRO's southern neighbor, disputes any reference to the name Macedonia without a geographic qualifier. According to Greek arguments, FYRO's constitutional name has irredentist designs on a Greek province of the same name. In addition, the Greeks consider the ethnonym Macedonian to be associated with their ancient heritage, and in particular to those ancient Greek-speaking tribes that lived on the lands corresponding to the modern Greek province of Macedonia. On the other hand, Bulgaria also disputes the ethnic identity of the Slavs of FYRO, claiming that they are in fact Bulgarians. Their claim hinges on ethno-linguistic grounds and on the historical figures which constitute part of FYRO's pantheon of founding fathers. For example, Ivan Hadjinikolov, Goche Delchev, Boris Sarafov, Dame Guruev, Kriste Misirkov, and Nikola Karev. Indeed, can a nation which has yet to celebrate its 20th birthday be loaded with so much ethno-historical baggage? Apparently so. According to the government in Skopje, the Slavic-speaking majority have ample evidence to rightfully press their ancient origins as far back as Alexander the Great. They even found a group of long-lost relatives among the Hunza tribes of Pakistan, who were invited and flown to Skopje by Gruevski's government with much pageantry and fanfare, and which, according to the local historians, are descendants of Alexander's troops and hence distant relatives of the ethnic Slavs of FYRO. Interestingly, while no foreign media at Skopje was able to interview the suspicious state guests, back in Pakistan, word had spread of the tale, resulting in the production of a local comedy loosely translated, Iskander and the New Yunana, which means Greeks. The play ridicules the ethnic Slavs of FYRO as too backward, vulgar, and incompetent to be the descendants of the famous ancient Greek warrior Iskander, which means Alexander, reducing FYRO's fanciful assertions to local tribal jokes. More amusingly, dear friends, however, was that FYRO, unaware, had not picked up on it at the time. Arguably, the Skopje government is so highly determined to foster an ancient ancestry that its decision to import such questionable and dubious credentials reveals the government's somewhat naive yet desperate attempt to implement historical veracity to its national identity. One cannot help but wonder what sources the historiographers of FYRO have drawn on to produce their national narrative. Pretentious designs, not to mention the waste of thousands of taxpayers' dollars on exaggerated narratives with a hollow past, only serves to alienate the very people who have faithfully witnessed the active engineering of their modern identity. The question is, however, have the ethnic Slavs of FYRO accepted this monstrous deception by the government? In a recent national spree of impulsive nationalism, the Skopje government set about renaming everything from highways, bridges, airports and stadiums to controversial historical figures, which has drawn the ire of some of its neighbours. Furthermore, the capital city of Skopje has been in the midst of a grand developmental building project called Skopje 2014, which is said to feature statues, colonnaded buildings, and even a Roman-styled Arc de Triomphe. Unsurprisingly, many of Skopje's citizens who were polled consider the Skopje 2014 project nothing more than an expression of ultimate kitsch reflecting a government in desperate denial. Surprised? No. Why should we? FYRO needs a historical past quick smart if it has any chance in establishing the ethnogenesis of a new, polished and somewhat malleable Balkan identity, whereby the ethnic Slav majority of FYRO will constitute the main ingredient in the famous regional Macedonian salad of Bulgarians, Greeks, Albanians, Roma, Turks and Vlachs. Then, a couple of years ago, there was also the so-called Macedonian prayer shown on national television, and according to the distributors, emphasized the intricate significance and superiority of the so-called Macedonioid race. Yes, you heard it, my dear friends. Macedonioid race, which is presumably a race of people from whom, and unbeknown to the global scientific community, the white race was conceived. The video attempts to marry FYRO's religious pulse with science by apparently having the voice of FYRO's God dictate a Darwinian spread of the white human race from Skopje, not Africa, to the rest of the world. How can the scientific community interpret such flagrancy other than to simply shrug it off as just another case of pseudo-science, whereby certain individuals in FYRO must feel both threatened and desperate, subsequently establishing their own version of racial evolution. We shall continue, dear friends, this interesting paper written by Mr. John James Smith in next week's edition. Please have a great week, and I'll see you all next week. Να είστε καλά, Γιάννη, μέχρι την άλλη εβδομάδα.
Ευχαριστούμε, Κωνσταντίν. Να είσαι καλά. Θεού θέλοντος την άλλη Κυριακή πάλι εδώ.
Αντίο σας.
Να είσαι καλά.